What's up, Rod?
What's happening? Good morning.
I'm Keith,
Buenos
by the way.
dias. I'm Rodney.
No. Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, hey, 5:30 Chronicle, the Daily Chronicle.
Welcome. This is where we chronicle the journey, all the stuff we're trying to get after, all the stuff that you're trying to get after. It's we're trying to show up our best every day. You may or may not know. I don't know why I say but
This is a good way for us to get in the mindset for the day, talking about what works, what doesn't work, what the day is going to look like, and how we plan on showing up today. So this just really sets the stage, one day at a time.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. No, you got it.
I'll go ahead. It's actually a good thing, like, to explain what happens when things break down. Like that just happens.
But that's just it's just a thing. It happens.
You mentioned this the other day, things breaking down. What'd you mean by
it? Communication, or I think I was specifically thinking of the other day I woke up and my wife was not feeling good, and neither was one of the children, and she's like, I need you to take the oldest to daycare, and typically she takes her. So my day is built around that schedule-wise. And I had a whole morning full of calls and meetings I needed to be in. So I first was like, I can't do it. And I was like, no, I got to figure this out. And then I was like, oh, I can take her to daycare early. We just typically don't, but we have an option to take her early, and they'll actually feed her breakfast. Just have to give them a heads up. So I just hit them up, let them know. And Ruby and I got ready faster than we've ever gotten ready in our lives. Got in the car and just went. And it worked out. So, but that's what I was thinking of, was just like, what happens when the schedule doesn't go as planned, or something interjects into, because we talked a lot about our priorities and kind of mapping out our days.
How we map it all out,
and we're pretty organized and pretty set. And then sometimes that's life.
I was just gonna ask you, and I think this is a really good point. Like, how often does that actually happen?
Like that other example?
No, just like things breaking down.
I don't know. I would say daily, like weekly for sure, like a couple times a week.
Yeah, I would too. I think it happens more often than it doesn't. Like, it's rare to wake up and just be like, perfect day. Like, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's always something that's
right.
changing or requesting something of your time. Yeah, there's always something.
Yeah.
So
then it just comes down to that. But it's like just now, right? Like, we were supposed to record this an hour ago, and we got caught up in some other things, got long on some stuff, and just had to shift it and switch it. I think
it's a weird.
Go ahead.
So it's a weird thing. It's kind of this flexibility, but schedules are important. Like, we have them for a reason, and we're trying to get things done at a certain time for a reason. And this balance of flexibility, but like, oh, okay, well, what can we do to move that or accommodate whatever just happened or whatever just came up? But I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, and it always ties back to priorities, but I was going to say more specifically, like, this is one of those things for us that hasn't always been easy. Like, you set out this plan for the day, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then everything blows up. Like, now I've got to shift my entire day, and then I get nothing done, because it's like, mentally making that mental shift hasn't always been easy. I think now it just has become easier, but for me, I'm aware of it. Like, oh, well, we got to figure something out. Like,
do you find like fighting it, like holding on to that first thing that didn't go right, makes the rest of it worse?
It depends on what that first thing is, but yes.
Yeah, it's a generalization I'm asking you to make, for sure. But yeah.
No, but I mean, but in general, I would still say yes. I would say, like, if the workout doesn't happen, that actually used to impact me even more. Like, if my workout didn't happen first thing in the morning, I'd be railed. But now that even falls into this. Like, if it doesn't happen.
maybe we should have a separate conversation because there's a factor in that. Like, what happens when you're too rigid? Like
Yeah,
when you have to have your meditation
yeah.
or you have to have your workout.
What
That's a
that
whole
does to you
nother.
mentally and
Yeah.
productively. Like, it railed me. It doesn't so much anymore. Like the
Hmm.
workout, if it doesn't happen at 6 a.m., first thing I do is I look at my calendar and go, where can I get this in today?
Right. It
And
doesn't
then
have
my
to
day
happen here.
becomes busier. But at the same time, it's like, these are the things that I need to get done, then figure it out.
All right. So I know we got to jump. In the comments, I'm curious, how many times a week does everything go off the rails for you? Once, twice, 5 times? Like, what's that? What's the average? I wanna do a non-scientific study on this.
see see how frequent it actually is.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Have a good one.